Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. In today's episode, we will be seeing more colonization, wars, and expansion, and other stuff. Let's get right into this video. So, first off, we actually see Scandinavia going ahead and taking over, I think the Norfolk Islands they're called. Or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called the Norfolk Islands. But anyways, over here, I was wondering what that is. It's a few lakes. But over here, you can see that these guys still haven't gotten that. And you know what? They won't be getting that land because I don't like how it looks. So yeah. There we go, and boom. Okay, I think giving these guys all of that was a little too much, but it's okay. But anyways, over here there'll actually be a war against this country, mainly from 3 countries surrounding them. One of them wants to get land they had just lost, and 2 other ones just want to get stronger. So these 3 countries that are going to be involved is this country, the Congo country, this country right here, I guess Uganda kinda, I don't know, and then this country, I have absolutely no idea what that is, what that would be, I guess Southwest South Sudan. I don't know. Anyways, the first one to invade will be this country over here. And they will quickly invade along this border, collecting a good amount of land. And they also are almost gonna cut them off. But remember, these guys are decently strong because of how good they did against those guys. Well, those guys are weak, but still they're decently strong. So these guys will push them back to that, and then these guys will start their invasion, and it will be a full-scale invasion, looking something like this, taking that major city over there. And they will also go ahead and surround the capital of this country until they push back because bad military generals, because these guys haven't fully developed their military to be that good yet, even though they were a part of the core Russian colony. But yeah, and they will even push these guys back. But when these guys join and start threatening these 2 major cities, that's when it gets bad for this country. Because now if they send troops up there to deal with that, which after they take over, this will come down. If they send troops to take care of that, these guys will push further. And what do? They go up there to take care of it. And they do pretty good. They take out the northern area, but not all of the south, which allows for these guys to just push harder into the land of this country. And in this, not in this peace treaty, we will see these guys continue advancing. At this point, they were already too crippled to defeat the country, to defeat the other countries. And this is what it looks like, those two provinces. So now this is the peace treaty. This country is looking a lot stronger. But now we will be going over to Papua New Guinea, which will see some more expansion. Mainly in these northern areas, taking over these lands because they think they don't think really about the south. They just go north. But after they go north, it's when they then decide to go south. And they end up taking these lands over here. And they even make a miniature landing on Australia. So let me fix up these borders. And boom. And that is now what that looks like. And why didn't they take all of it? Well, because there's a new country over here. And that will be this country. And this country calls themselves, okay. They call themselves Papua New Guinea. Shocker. But now we will go over here. And we will go a little more north. Because we will see yet another country starting a colonial empire. And that country is none other, well, let me just show you after I do this. So there has been massive exploration over here, looking like that. And how so much? Well, the new colonial empire is made by Persia. Yep, Persia. And nope, not that. So, this is currently what the Persians' colony looks like, but they are continuing to expand it, even getting up to there. And since they're new to colonization and they don't really have any information on these lands, they will lose that north area, and the Brazilians will find out about this and quickly send their people over here to take more land so the Persians can't. And they will expand, okay, not that much. They will expand into all of these lands right here. Let me just make that look better. Okay, those lands. And now it's like they're all going crazy for South America. And Pink France starts to head up Central America. And what will they do over here? Well, I don't know. Real quick, let me just fix that. Okay. So now Pink France will go ahead and continue their colony, but instead going over here, they take a pretty big amount of land. And now they're continuing. What? Oh, I was on erase. My bad. And now we will see what is stopping them. And that thing that is stopping them is in this country right over here. Fix those borders. Yeah, it's this country right here. Now, this country, it has kind of like a Guatemala color, I'd say. So their capital is like gonna be around Guatemala, kind of, if you want to say. But yeah. And Pink France is not gonna mess with these guys because although they aren't as large as Pink France, they are decently strong. Now, I'm not saying they're so strong that they could beat, like, Pink France if they went into, like, a full war, like, where Pink France sends their entire army. This country would get decimated, but they would hold up a good fight. And, in fact, these guys have even taken these areas over here, and did not mean to do that. I accidentally gave them some of Florida. And yeah, Pink France has all of the rest over here, and we will now go back over here to see what happens. These shoe countries, it's basically just between them. So these guys will go ahead and get all of this, as well as, real quick, let me just fix those borders a little. Boom. 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 Oh, I messed up. Cool. And yeah, these guys, they're stretching themselves so far out. Like, low-key, best thing for them to do to stabilize would be, like, unite with all three of these guys. And that is not gonna happen. Anyways, and yeah, there isn't that much land left over here, so the yellow team will real quick snatch some land. And then this country will go ahead and snatch some land. Boom, boom. And yeah. And now the big Russian team, the monarchists, actually, that's what this country is, the monarchy. The monarchists and what is this country's ideology? The monarchists and the anarchists will actually come to an agreement because I need to update the ideology there. And why? Well, this anarchist country, after the First World War, they have changed to a false democracy, but they're slowly trying to become a full democracy. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, my bad. I was just testing something out. Real quick, let me see. Okay, and these guys are going to become like, hold on, that is way too close to the other country. Nope, I just gave them all the land in the world. My bad. Okay, this is a new country over here because neither of these two countries, even though they are trying to get a bunch of land, wanted that area. And by the way, that is what the Russians would look like with it, and that is what these guys would look like with it. So it'd look better for, there we go. That's better borders. So over here, we will actually be seeing a war between, well, Blue China and these guys. Is it these guys? No, it isn't. Is it Korea? No, it isn't. Is it Blue Tibet? No, it isn't. Who will it be? It will be these guys. No, I'm kidding. It will actually be against themselves as they are having a civil war. So, these guys will first off start up here in the north, taking over so much land that the Blue Chinese government is like, retreat, retreat, eat applesauce, I don't know what to do, help! But then they finally get their stuff together, and then they start fighting back. And they eventually push this rebellion over into this area, and then they eventually take them out, and then they're all celebrating with their military over there, and then the real attack pops up, and that is where the rebellion actually is, and they very quickly take over the capital. And what will this do? This will make them call for immediate surrender, and well, let me just show you all the land that they lose. So they will be losing almost all of their ocean access. Okay, now let me fix this border because I messed up so badly on it. And yeah, this is now Blue China. And what happens next? What's even worse? The second part comes. And that is the rebellion of all of these lands. And they say, yep, just go ahead. We can't do anything about it. And they even give the purple country the 3 most northern areas of Blue China. And yep, Blue China is not gonna be able to attempt to even cook anymore because they are cooked. As you can see, but truthfully, I'll say, actually, let me real quick do that. Wait, no. Let me do that and that because boom, 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 boom. So actually, they are not a tiny little blue country up here. That is the original rebellion, because the original rebellion started up in these areas, if you can remember that, which was like 3 or 4 minutes ago. And yeah, we see them getting their one other province, and then we can see Blue China celebrating because they thought they'd be like fully gone. Bless me. And we will also have to see a sad rebellion over here in South Hokkaido. Now, why is there a rebellion in not South Hokkaido, sorry, South Japan? Now, why is there this rebellion that will just get their independence? There will be no fight, and then Korea will take them? Well, I'm kidding about the Korea part, though. So yeah, that will happen. And over here, we will see yet another country become free, and that is Madagascar. Yep, Madagascar just broke away from the country that has the name known as Malaysia. Yep, Malaysia. And why? Well, first off, East Timor, you're gonna lose some more of your land because Java just fully broke away from both countries. And now we can see that this isn't a breakaway, it is a rebellion. We can see by that that they will fight, and East Timor realizes that, and they know they don't stand a chance, so yeah. and there's being almost riots in the capital of Malaysia and in this whole area, which is the second least stable area besides that. And now let me see, another breakaway, and this time it will be this area, which I literally just said it would be in this area because there was large riots and everything, and they even moved their capital. So this is the new Malaysia. This is what they're looking like. And at this point, they are not even in Malaysia. They're just Sumatra. So now I will be calling them Sumatra. And over here, we will be seeing a rebellion. I know, there's so many rebellions this episode. But like, hey, I'm not the countries. The countries are the countries. You know? But this is the breakaway, not rebellion. And we will have yet another one of those happen over here in Poland. And it will be this one that just becomes Poland. Yeah. But now Azerbaijan, who has had like Azerbaijani lands the entire series, will be attacked by this country, which is stronger than them, and one other country. Now, what country? Glad you asked. It's the anarchist Russians. Why isn't their true allies, Great Ankara and the Grand Legion, helping? It's just too fast and too much of a surprise. So in this peace treaty, we will see two things happen. One, this country will be getting lots of lands, but no lands over in the Caspian Sea, as they still only have this area, which the anarchists are like almost demanding for them to give to this new country. Yep. Azerbaijan is changing colors for the third time. Now, what do you mean third time? Well, at the start of the series, this was their color. The dark blue color. And that changed when the Ankarans and Grand Legion invaded them. And, well, this is what it's being changed back to. And the Russians will be giving that. And the Persians don't even use this. The major cities over here just are getting like they're just collecting salt. Okay, that's, yeah, they're collecting salt. And now the anarchists and the Persians will both be attacking this country in order to get them the stuff. And why did I just like rush through that? I mean, there's literally no other way. And yes, I know I gave this country land from these guys. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Smiley face. No. Now they're too wide. They can get like that once they actually participate in wars and do stuff. But for now, no. This is what they will look like. They will be like that. They will almost be like that. Besides this one spot. Wait, does it look... no, it looks worse with provinces off. Finally, I will stop. Yes, okay, I will stop. Caspia takes over this country. I'm just kidding. Pearl. Okay, you know what? After all that, the Yellow Country took all of this country's northern lands that they didn't really even get to take stuff from. They were still transporting it. And the Yellow Country said, yeah, you can still finish transporting it back. But you have to pay to get it back into your country. And they're like, what? Why? It's our resources. And you just took over those lands of our country while we were transporting those resources. And you know what they say to that? They say, fine. Bet then. And what does that mean? Let me just show you. So first off, a very quick invasion of the country right here allows these guys to get that. Okay, not these bottom two. What is happening right here, bro? Okay, there we go. And now, we will be seeing boom. And now we will be seeing boom. Are they the biggest country in the world? No, I'd say, Pink France still has that title because of their colony, which is like the same size as the Yellow Country. And yeah. And now we will be going ahead and seeing Persia fulfill their promise of these 3 provinces. Yeah, because, well, they just do. And then they even give Caspia 1 extra province, because if they didn't, the border would look ugly. And now they say, please, 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 Grand Legion, we're so close. And they say, okay. And Great Ankarian Empire also says okay. Because just because these other countries helped these guys become Caspia does not mean that this country isn't still a puppet state of the Grand Legion. And after this, since they're still a puppet state and there was limitations, Persia will be forced to pull back what they gave Caspia. And now, it is no longer a puppet state, but it is now an ally. And, Cachao or Cachao, it doesn't really matter when it goes to these guys. Now they're the biggest in the world. I'm kidding. But anyways, we will be seeing more exploration and expansion and expansion and expansion and also some expansion, you know? And now that they have reached down here, we will be seeing this brand new country form. And now we will have to see these countries expand. So these guys will quickly go ahead and take all of these lands, and this like New York country will actually take most of this area until these guys like start going back and forth with New York over it. But then they realize that New York is stronger, and then they're like, okay, chill, we'll release these bottom areas just so we don't border you, and so we can be chill. Now over here, we will be actually seeing the first war in the history of the Americas. That is between these 2 countries. And this northern one is a lot stronger. So they like immediately get cooked. Like the southern one. And Germany is exploring more of Quebec. which they're calling Quebecia. Yeah, they're calling it Quebecia. And this country is now going ahead and exploring more of these areas because they will wanted to. Da-da-da-da. And now their exploration borders look ugly, so they have explored. So now these countries have explored like that. Yeah. And they have explored all of these waters. Boom. And yeah. And that is what that looks like. And remember, I said that Germans were expanding into this area. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna expand into this area. Gasp. I know that might come as a surprise to some of you guys, but they do explore more lands over here. Isn't that crazy? And now they are like inches away from the other country in this area. And you know what? I'm gonna split this because I don't like how it looks. Then I'm just gonna get rid of the southern part of it. I'm so nice for doing that. And New York sees land and they say, we take. What do they mean by we take? Well, they mean we take these areas of land because we take. And then they smile. Boom. Bam. Bop. Ka-chow. 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 And that is their lands. And this country sees that they might get cut off if they don't go ahead and take land. So they decide to connect up with their German colony, and the Germans see this as a threat, and they aren't ones to back down from a fight. So they say, bet that. And so they invade. And so they defeat that country. And so ka-chow. And this is now what Quebec looks like. And we can now see that this country has nowhere to go. And these guys are too close to the other guys, so I have to brighten their color. And then you see that they have been expanding a lot over the course of me not making videos. And so we now see their massive expansion. Now, of course, I'm joking about that. They will not be getting all of that land. They will instead be getting these southern areas. And if I gave them all of that, it would be wraps for so many countries over here, because that'd just be such an unfair advantage that I'm giving them. Okay, and now that is what they will look like. And for one of the last events in this video, we will be seeing the original colonizers of the Americas expand. Now, they have adapted to the Amazon rainforest, and that means that they will be going ahead and taking more of these Amazon areas. And the Portuguese are not gonna try and go into the way of Galicia, because they're both best friends and they both want each other to have a good expansion. So yeah, so boom. And what? So boom, and then boom, and boom. And that is the Portuguese colony for today. And then we will be seeing the Galicians having a massive expansion in their attempt to cut off the Pink French. And yeah, so over here, it's like overstepping their area a little. So the Portuguese say, hey man, that's kind of overstepping into our area. And they say, yeah, I guess you're right. Here, have it. And yep, that is the last thing that will happen in this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of What If Civilization Started Over. And if you did, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe and turn on notifications.